Why, hello. It's your girl, Love, and I am so happy to be here on Periscope again with you. And as you know, I'm the creator of Agape Intelligence. So funny because I was talking to some of my team today, and we were discussing how often people are like, oh my God, Agape Intelligence saved my life. And I have to let you guys know, I'm the first life that is saved. My life is the first life that is saved. And I know I talk about it like it's a separate entity from me because it is. I just happen to be the messenger. Yes, I did a lot of studying. Yes, I did a lot of data collection and all that good stuff. But the fact of the matter is, Agape Intelligence is here for you. It has practical tools, techniques, and it goes step by step, starting with self-study. And so today, let's just talk really quick about a couple of deep things that I want you to just think about for me. Okay, so with Agape Intelligence, we have different definitions and sayings and things to help us through the day. And one of the things that we really talk about is happiness. As far as Agape Intelligence is concerned, AI, if I can get it out of my mouth, is that happiness has to do with your choosing to have happy, healthy relationships in your life, whether that relationship is with yourself. That's why we start with self-study, or with other people, or even food, or whatever it is you choose. And one of the things that people learn in Agape Intelligence is that you actually have freedom of choice. So let me give you an example. I used to live in Stockton, and at a point, Stockton, California became a few years back like the #1 murder capital. But it was weird the way Stockton is because it is very eclectic, has diverse culture, and it has like 5 different colleges there, 3 of which are universities, 4 of them I think, which are universities. One is the University of Phoenix. And so some great minds have come out of Stockton. The gentleman who created emotional intelligence, Daniel Goleman, he was raised in Stockton and went to University of Pacific. And so there are several other people that we can name. And I think, again, it's because it was so eclectic. But the thing about Stockton is it is rough business. Like, people are for real there, for real, for real. So I have a little story. This young man, he had gone to work in the evening. He was about 18, 19 years old. He was at the time. And there's a lot of things that go on in Stockton. So, he was coming from work. It was dusk, and this guy came up to him and he said, "Your money or your life." Now, what I'll hear people say a lot of times is, if somebody says your money or your life, well, you have no choice. And I beg to differ, you do. And what this young man said was, okay, then it's going to be my life, because you are not taking my money today. And the guy had a gun on him. And so the guy looks at him and shrugs his shoulder and says, okay, I didn't have bullets anyway. True story. True story. So you see, you might not have the choices that you particularly like, and you do have choices. And that's something that you learn in Agape Intelligence, that there's so much freedom to having choices. For instance, you can choose, you don't necessarily choose what family you're born into, but you can choose whether you stay a part of different people in your family's life, So that's what I mean by happy, healthy relationships, that you get to choose who's in your life and who isn't. And you get to choose what behaviors are healthy for you, and what beliefs that you've been carrying around that other people have taught you about yourself, or you've come to think is correct about you, that you can change. You can decide that you no longer believe that about yourself, and you can choose new beliefs about yourself and and carry out acting in those ways, because we are what we do. Until we change what we do, then we become that. So when it comes down to happiness, we really look at the fact that you can choose to have happy, healthy relationships. Okay, so that's the first thing. So just ponder that, come in, and thanks for joining today, by the way. I'm so glad to see you guys. And I want you to really think about that and hit me up on Facebook, Luvleigh Alston on Facebook, and I'm on Twitter as well, Agape Intelligence. Now, the next thing that I really want you to ponder, and please tell me how you feel and what you think about this, that is, are a lot of people addicted to suffering? And that's something when people come on to wanting to get AI and go through learn all the tools and processes and the things that are life-changing so that you can live life on your own terms. They really go through an application process. We don't just accept anybody doing AI, because we have to know that you're committed to your own life and to moving forward and evolving. And if you're not, then we won't work with you. You need to work with somebody else, right? As much as I love people, I've come to understand that. And what I've also come to understand is that people can be addicted to their suffering. So week 3 of myself or a practitioner working with a client, or doing workshops, or even if I'm keynote speaking, we really talk about, are we addicted to our suffering? Have we gone through an afflicted suffering? And what I mean by afflicted suffering is, I actually study suffering. I know, deep geek, deep geek, right? So only I would go studying suffering. And there's a book called Suffering, and I've studied other books as well. And the thing about suffering is, I was just looking at the book, and suffering, in order for it to be affliction, it has to have a combination of 3 things. And that is, it has to be physical, psychological, and social. If it's primarily physical, let's say you get really sick, then that's something that you can work on. If it's primarily psychological, then you can get Agape Intelligence, and we'll help you with what's going on psychologically. We'll even help you and refer you out when it comes to physical suffering. And the third thing, social, is something that we all have to stop having apathy about. That's why I'm so big against bullying in the workplace, because I think it's us as a society being apathetic about the suffering of other people at the hands of another person or other people. Okay, so the question is, are we addicted to suffering? Have we been through so much that we just have come to believe that that's a part of our life, and somehow we're undeserving of having choices and being happy and having and finding that joy? I've been through a lot of things in my life. I've made a lot of choices, and behaviors have consequences. That's something else we learn in Agape Intelligence. So all suffering isn't equal. And when it comes down to it being an affliction, it generally has those 3 processes all together: physical, psychological, and social. So I just want you to put a bug in your ear and ask you to think about, what is happiness for you? What have you come to believe happiness is? And what is suffering for you? What have you come to believe about suffering? Do you believe that you definitely have to do it and really go through it and lose power and strength because of it, or can you evolve using, it as an experience? And then one of the ways to make suffering an experience in which you gain power is to take what you've learned and to help other people, which is what we do at Agape Intelligence. So uplifting and up-leveling other people and understanding their pain. So I just wanted to ask those questions and get you deep thinking, and let's go out deep geek on it. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Wonderful to see you. Thank you. I'll be seeing you soon.